Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this playlist, we are going to talk about LangChain.js version 1, and we will do here development in TypeScript, Node.js and Ollama. So this course is not a beginner friendly course, and you must need to know about basic of the JavaScript. If you don't know anything about like for loop, anything promise and async await, so this course is not for you. Just go back and learn basic about the JavaScript and do some hands-on project. Then after come back in this playlist and follow that. So we are going to complete here about AI development in production ready way, and you will learn everything in detail. And if we talk about what you are going to learn in this video series, so you can see this code I already post in this GitHub repo, like LangChain.js production course. So this GitHub link you will got in this description section of this video. Also, if you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, you can subscribe. And we are going to learn here about LangChain.js production course, and here we will use version 1. Also you will learn about LCEL, also prompts, chains, output parser, memory with LangGraph in modern way, not a deprecated way with BufferMemory, because this got deprecated. Also we will learn about RAG, also load, split, embed, retrieve and generate. And we will use here vector database like MemoryVectorStore for learning. And also when we switch to production, so we will switch to Pinecone for persistent memory. If I show you, so I already wrote the code, but whenever we learn, I will rewrite this code all one more time if I come back in memory. So first we'll discuss about problems. What is the problem with that and what is the manual solution for that? And then after some improved way, and then after production ready way. And if you don't understand anything about like what is this conversation, what is this base message type, no need to worry anything about that. We will discuss in detailed and you will got a complete idea on that. Also you can see I already built this code for when I'm preparing for this series. So I will rewrite code one more time and explain everything line by line in detail. And what I suggest, if you don't use any AI tool to writing code, you just install simple VS Code or any editor. Don't take any AI suggestion on that. So you got a complete idea on that. And if we talk about RAG, and here we will first talk about problem, what is the then solution, then another approach for solution and another approach, then after at last generating reaction. So I try to make it this video series as much detailed as possible, so you got a complete idea on that. Also if we come back here, and we will use here agent like bind tool and manual agent loop. Also we will use here createAgent. So you can see this createReactAgent got deprecated, and now we need to use version 1, so we need to use this createAgent. So if I come back here, and in under that agent, first we'll talk about problem. If I go on top of this file, and first we'll talk about problem, what is the solution for that, then after another approach for solution. Like that I tried to make this course. And here you can see we are using createAgent because createReactAgent got deprecated. And we will use here stream event. Also we will create here express server for that. So if I come under this stream, you can see we created here express server, and we will create here API also. So once you call this API, you got a response like AI prompt response on that, and you need to pass prompt as a payload in this API. Also I created here terminal AI tool on that. And if I go we'll talk about problems, then solution for that. So this way I created for stream. And if I come back here, we doing here production error handling also, like retries, timeout, abort signal, structure logging and job validation. So here you can see in error handling, we did here with retries function we created. Also we are using here generic type, also with timeout, abort signal. if you don't understand anything, what is this abort signal, what is this abort controller, anything in this what I'm showing you, no need to worry anything about. I'll explain in detail and I'll rewrite code by hand so you can follow easily with this video series. And but you must know about basic of the JavaScript as I mentioned in starting. Also, we are using here logging, created here logger function. Once we deploy this in production, you can replace this console.log with Datadog or Grafana, anything you can do that. Also, we will deploy this in production using AWS Lambda. So when we'll deploy this in AWS, so you need to switch back Ollama to Groq, because Ollama is our for local development. So we are not going to use any API here like OpenAI API or Anthropic AI API key. We are not going to use here. We simply use here local development. And I make here this model is common under that LLM section. So we need to replace this function so we can deploy in the production. Also, we created here get tool LLM. We are using this model in Ollama, and we are using this model for making embedding. So no need to worry about this, and we will cover in detail. And what is the prerequisite for this? As I told you, you must need to install Node.js in your system. Also, you must need to know about basic of the Node.js. Also, we will use here LangChain version 1 as I mentioned you previously. Also, we will use here Ollama for local development. We are not going to use any AI API key like chat gpt API key, not like that. We are going to use completely Ollama here. Also, we will use here LangGraph, and for vector db we will use here Pinecone. Also, we will use jot for p4 for validation. So these kind of thing we are going to use, and you need to install Node.js. So this GitHub link I will provide in this description section. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe. And this course is much detailed. You got a completely production ready idea and how you can deploy your AI chatbot or AI project code in the production. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video.